Hello and welcome back to the Innsmouth Case with me, Bardon. Okay, so we're going to continue on from where we left off, which was at the beach, and see if anything changes at the hotel now that we took part in the ceremony. A grey veil covers the town. The light of the sun drains away, and with it any residual heat. Although Innsmouth is a boring coastal town and probably doesn't have any street gangs, you feel relieved when you see the gables of the Gilman Hotel. On your way here, you distinctly felt as if someone or something was following you. You could swear there were shadows. They were only visible for a fraction of a second whenever you entered an alley. These fleeting shadows, they're still there lurking somewhere in the dark. You can feel it in your gut. You'll soon be safe. The growing paranoia, the constant glances over your shoulder. Soon you can forget about all that. Grabbing a bottle of Jack is the only movement required once you're in your hotel room. The parking lot in front of your hotel is completely empty. All the guests left. Does Innsmouth even have a peak tourist season? Fortunately, the entry gate is not locked. In fact, everything seems just as it did this afternoon when you left the hotel. Not a soul around. The chandeliers light your way into the foyer, and creaking floorboards welcome you. As you enter the foyer, you can hardly believe your eyes. Who's waiting for you at reception? None other than Cornelius Gilman III, and you could swear he is in exactly the same pose in which you left him. He stands motionless at the reception desk. Let's greet him. You can't just completely ignore the only other person in the building. You stroll leisurely to the reception desk and nod at Cornelius. How nice to see you. I trust your stay in Innsmouth has been pleasant so far. He smiles. Don't you ever have to go to the bathroom? You'd already wanted to ask him about this earlier today. Of course, Cornelius replies in a conversational tone, but a good concierge distinguishes himself by always being on hand when his guests need him. Astonishing. Although you're not sure... he stopped talking. Okay. Astonishing, although you're not sure that anybody really needs a creepy, grinning puppet. It's the thought that counts. Right, you walk up the stairs to your floor. Then you stroll along the long corridor until you reach the fork with the deceptive mirror. You briefly consider your appearance. We're simply gorgeous. Simply gorgeous. The sea air really agrees with you. Noble paleness on your cheeks, alert eyes, and your hairline high above your intellectual-looking forehead. A good day. You venture deeper into the bizarre labyrinth of this hotel floor. You manage to find your room, and you only get lost once on the way. You quietly open the door and enter. Well, it is barely necessary to switch on the light. You walk towards one of the windows and look out into the starry sky. A huge, strangely green glowing moon illuminates your room like a spotlight. The whole room is plunged into a surreal glow. Unfortunately, there are no window blinds to block out the light, but there are curtains, which we discovered before. Just great. Let's go straight to bed. Off the bed. You drop in the bed like someone who has no intention of ever getting up again. Changing clothes after a long day out before going to bed is for suckers, for people with a basic sense of hygiene. But that's not who you are, and you're oddly pleased about it. With these strange thoughts in mind, you doze off for a bit. You transition fluidly into your dreams. You're only just close your eyes and you're already somewhere else. Suddenly, your worries are very different. You're running in a desolate grey maze of winding alleys. You can hear the cheerful laughter of a small child. If only you could catch up. You could save the child and take them home to safety. You sprint down the path and turn around the corner, then around another. The alleyway stretches out in front of you, but there's no person to be seen anywhere. What was that? Was that a shadow at the corner of the street, back there? The silhouette of a figure? You realize that someone is following you. Okay, so this time we're going to try something different. We're going to look over your shoulder. You cast a hasty glance over your shoulder. Then you see them out of the corner of your eye, shadows, but they have repugnant bodies. You can't really put it any differently. You catch glimpses of oily skin, swollen boils, even tentacles, but nothing stays in one place. Everything seems to be constantly moving around, a body in metamorphosis. Patches of skin tear open and close again, with awful smacking sounds. You briefly catch a glimpse of the thing that was following you silently. You know you're already seeing more than you should have. That short glance was more than enough. No human being can stand looking at this creature without completely losing their mind. It's right behind you. The figure in the distance has already disappeared behind the next corner. Maybe you can still catch up with it. The alley winds through the town in confusing ways. Nothing makes sense anymore. Wherever you move, you never arrive in the place you expected to. It feels as if, slowly but surely, you're walking right into the jaws of a massive monster. All of a sudden the walls close in on you, and the path becomes so narrow that you have to walk sideways in order to fit through. Whatever is behind you is getting closer. Right, so I think we've done each of these before, right? We tried to squeeze through and we got squashed. We tried to face the creature and I think it killed us. And there must be another way actually got us out of the dream. Pretty sure that's true. So let's say there must be another way. Take a step backwards. The building of the strangely narrow alley extends high up into the sky. Innsmouth didn't have buildings this high, did it? No windows for you to climb in, no door you could knock on. And there's still something behind you. Keep moving, keep moving. There's no point in following this endless labyrinth forever. With bated breath you turn around and look down the street you just came from in order to face whatever is pursuing you. No matter how hard you try, your eyes refuse to look directly at it. The tentacled meatball right in front of you seems to be only a small outgrowth of the much larger but also shapeless and impossible creature that is following you. You begin to despair. Now what did we do here before? Close our eyes or look at it directly? Let's look at it directly. It wasn't so bad after all, you thought when you opened your eyes. Panting, you awake. In one panic movement you throw the blankets off the bed. What a nightmare, at least it's over now. Your room is still plunged into the greenish light from the moon. It's still the middle of the night. Sleep is out of the question for now. Okay, so this feels like something... It could be something we did before, but it feels like something slightly different. Let's look out the window. You approach the window. Even from a distance, the light of the moon blinds you. Everything is bathed in unreal green shimmer. The stately house across the hotel, the neglected... across from the hotel, it must be. The neglected, wildly growing hedges on the sidewalk. The mob armed with torches, looking up into your room. The what? They're staring up at you. It's hard to tell who these hooded people are without wanting to be prejudiced. You assume that they are the good citizens of Innsmouth. Some of the figures point at their torches to your room, the higher floor. Then they limp towards the hotel entrance. You briefly wonder if these kind people might know anything about missing children. Yeah, this is different. Because we spotted them, which we didn't do before. Let's take flight. With your heart pounding, you grab your trench coat and tiptoe to the door. Enough time wasted. Carpet fortunately muffles most of your steps. Only now and then a rotten floorboard gives a telltale sign. You rush down the hall until you get to the fork. You take the way to the abandoned room, of course. Of course! You still have the key to the room that was left in a hurry. Either the guest has returned there, or it is still empty. That gives you either an ally or shelter. You can already hear voices from some of the corridors when you finally stand in front of room 237. The faraway voices sound like they're chanting. With a trembling hand, you put the key into the lock and open the door. Despite the darkness, you realize at once that the room is empty and has not yet been cleaned. You're alone. With bated breath, you sink to the floor with your back against the door. After about a minute, you hear the footsteps of the strangers. It seems that they're searching the corridors. They're looking for you. A cold shiver goes down your spine. You're still not quite sure what these people want from you, but under these circumstances, you're not willing to take any risks. Even though you plan to keep watch for the rest of the night, you eventually doze off. When morning comes, you curse softly. In your sleep, you must have twisted yourself into an unnatural position. Your vertebrae crack alarmingly as you return to a more upright position. Then it's dawn. In a haze, you walk into the bathroom and change. Your face in the mirror above the sink looks like it's aged by many years. You walk through the corridors, then down to the stairs to the foyer. You give Mr. Gilman the key. I hope you had a pleasant night in our hotel. Very nice of you to bring back the key. Would you be so kind as to fill out our questionnaire? With a stiff smile, he hands you a sheet of paper and a pen. You write or send these in different boxes. With a nicey smile, you write the wildest insults, balancing on the edge of legality. Then you think of this early in the morning. When you put the pen down, you feel much better. Oh, that you can think of, okay. You had to get that out. You'd love to ask Mr. Gilman questions about everything that went on last night, but an instinct that usually prefers to sleep advises you to get out of here while you can. None of the holidaymakers that you met around town yesterday are anywhere to be seen on your way back. The bus leaves Innsmouth for Boston and is already waiting for you. It seems to be just waiting for you and a handful of disfigured villagers. Not a single tourist is among the travellers. They are probably much smarter than you and all arrive by car. When the old bus starts to move, you decide to stop thinking about it. You jerk awake, only the pale moon seeps through the blinds of your apartment. It must be very late in the night. You're soaked in sweat, as per usual. You sit up on the edge of the bed and try to calm down. You're safe. You're at home. You've managed to put an end to their screams. The kidnappings are all the lies. You've escaped, but you're still under the spell of Innsmouth. Okay, and that is the end of that one. So yeah, it was kind of interesting to get something slightly different there. So I'm going to leave that episode there. Next time we're probably going to go and see if there are other options for when we leave the hotel the first time. Can we actually explore the town rather than down by the docks? So yeah, we might get a couple more might do a couple more episodes on that. We'll have to see. Right, but for now, that's it from me. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you're keeping safe out there. And hope to see you next time. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left. Or perhaps you might even share with some friends.